enjoying the most is the quality of the leads. But working with you guys, I mean, the lead quality has been amazing. With my very first lead, we locked up.
How much have you spent like over the last 3 months? And tell us how many deals you've gotten.
In the last 3 months, we spent right around $10,000 on the Facebook ads. The deals that we've locked up in the last 3 months, it's been locked up about 10. So as far as what we're making right now in the last 3 months, you can say that we're averaging around 35 to 40,000 a month.
That's over at 10x.
We're just getting started.
Exactly.
So far, it's probably been the best decision I've made since I've been in the game, because I get to control the lead flow.
What's up, guys? I got my guy Francisco over here. He is kind of like the sub-2 king. You want to introduce yourself and tell them where you're doing all these deals from?
Sure. So again, my name is Francisco Hernandez. I live in Northwest Arkansas. If you're familiar with Arkansas at all, it's where Walmart is based, the Walmart headquarters. So I've been in real estate for about 7 years now. I'm an active agent, and I kind of made the switch more into the investing side of the business about 3 or 4 years ago. And so far, I've really enjoyed the journey. He mentioned that I was a sub-2 king. I actually happen to have used that as a strategy quite often anymore, because it just obviously just allows you to get into deals a lot easier when you do find those types of deals. But yeah, I've been in real estate for about 7 years. I've been enjoying it as an agent as well as on the investing side, and trying to have fun, but at the same time, obviously make money.
Yeah, of course. Can you tell us a little bit about what your team looks like on the investing side, and what do you have going on with the agent side as well?
Sure. So on the agent side, I've got a team. My team is called FJH Partners, and I've got a couple of buyer agents that work with me. Obviously, I've gotten away from being the guy showing properties, which is essentially what most agents want to get to at some point, is be more of a listing agent. I've got a couple of VAs, virtual VAs, virtual assistants that basically handle some of the legwork, if you will, like the paperwork, the offers, all that jazz. I've got a full-time TC that is able to not only TC the realtor files, but also the creative deals, whether it's a sub-2 deal or wrap, wholesale deal, you name it. So that was a key part for the business, just having a TC that is well versed on just about everything.
Sure.
Because it just allows me to be able to focus on locking up the deals.
Right. Okay. And then do you look up the deals yourself, or do you have like acquisitions people that are calling the leads and stuff?
So as of recent, I hired an acquisitions person.
Okay.
But here in the last couple of months, I've been the one more or less kind of getting on the phone. I've got a business partner as well that he would also be the one getting on the phone, just to ensure that we maximize the most. But now, as the business is kind of growing, I have the benefit of being able to hire an acquisitions manager to be able to help me scale a little faster.
For sure. Okay. And then can you tell us a little bit about what marketing channels you were doing before and what made you want to look into inbound and get our help into helping you learn all this stuff with Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the past, what we were doing is we were actually paying marketing agencies, right, to be able to create, the ads and everything else. But what we found out is the leads that we weren't getting weren't really fitting our buy box, if you will. We were getting these leads that were like, in these little small towns that, it will take forever to try to move that type of a deal. After, a lot of money, thousands of dollars spent, we essentially had to say, you know what, it just doesn't make any more sense for us to continue throwing money into this thing because, the ROI is just not there. So that's what, it got me looking into is like, there's got to be more. My thought at one point in time was like, I need to be able to control the marketing as much as possible, obviously to allow my cost per lead to be lower, but at the same time, for me able to say, you know what, seems like this is working. Let me add more fuel to the fire, right, by throwing more money into this, so that I can get the benefit of growing and scaling.
Yeah, for sure. And what would you say is the main difference, I guess, that you noticed from like working with an agency that's doing everything like for you, and working with us where we kind of do it with you and we coach you on it, and we're on there making sure the cost per lead is down, that you're getting the leads where you want, that we're hitting the distressors and all that. Tell us a little bit about that.
What I'm enjoying the most is the quality of the leads, right? Because again, when we were paying these marketing agencies, just there were leads, right? There were plenty of leads, but just the quality of the leads wasn't there, right? So
Yep.
I was spinning my wheels trying to make something work where there wasn't, enough either motivation or it just didn't fit our buy box. But working with you guys, I mean, the lead quality has been amazing, right? Like right out of the gate, we were able to monetize with my very first lead. We locked up.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
So,
crazy, I remember.
so,
But I
so
think also one of the things that you have is like you are willing to go out there and use every tool in your toolbox in order to make a deal happen. And I love that. And I think people need to be like that, because most people will blame like the lead, but a lot of the times it's their sales process. So being willing to go out there and try to make a deal happen, it's super important. And I know that you are huge on that. And some of the things that I always recommend anyone that wants to look into marketing is like, I really like for the founder to understand like at a fundamental level, like how marketing works when it comes to like Facebook. And also we even had you made some videos of yourself, where you are the one on the ads. And I feel like that conveys a lot of trust to the sellers. So if they see you on the ad and then they talk to you on the phone, it's like, oh, I saw this guy's ad. I mean, I like him already. So you have a
yeah,
chance of earning that trust even before you start the phone call. And what I like about Facebook is like, instead of you chasing them, they are kind of like chasing you and be like, yeah, I want to sell your house to
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
So it makes
Yeah.
it way, you're able to have like a better conversation from the get-go. And that's what I like about Facebook.
No, I agree. I mean, just the conversion rate is better, right? Because you're not just cold calling, right? They're essentially already knocking at your door, and all you're doing is
Exactly.
basically opening up the door and say, okay, how can I help you, right?
Right.
So, yeah,
Exactly.
no, I agree.
And I guess tell us a little bit about like where you are now in terms of like deal size, deal volume, how much you're spending. Because I don't think we're spending a ton of money on Facebook, but you're still getting a
Well,
lot of
yeah, no, we're
deals.
really not. I mean, right now, I think it's only about $100 a day that we're spending on leads, and just in the last 3 days, we've generated about 5 leads, and 3 of those are potential deals that we're actively working on seeing about locking up. But again, right, thinking outside the box to where I'm using every tool in my tool belt to be able to make sure that something works, whether it's a potential listing, whether it's something that I can just do an ovation on, which I actually just uh, put on the MLS just yesterday, an ovation that I locked up from one of the leads that came in about 2 weeks ago, right?
Nice.
And then same thing, deals that I can personally pick up myself that I can either turn into, a lease option or a wrap right out of the gate just to continue to get that cash flow going. So
For
right
sure.
now, I want to be able to just kind of set up my new acquisitions guy to where he's able to kind of handle the workload, the leads well enough to where I can throw a little bit more money into the ad spend and be able to scale a little bit faster, right?
For sure.
But again, it's not spending a ton of money right now. And I know I mentioned it earlier, but to me, the biggest benefit is just that lead quality that we're getting, right? These people are
Exactly.
coming to me. We know they want to sell, right? And all I have to do is just kind of present them with their options and allow them to go ahead and make the decision for themselves. So,
For sure. So tell us a little bit how much we're spending, I guess, and how much you spent like over the last 3 months. I think we're spending like 3 grand a month. And tell us how many deals you've gotten, and go a little bit into like the deals that you have locked up,
sure.
with the creative stuff and the referrals you've gotten and all that.
Yeah. So, in the last 3 months, we spent right around $10,000 on the Facebook ads. I mean, we're generating. I think so far we've generated probably over 65, 70 leads, right? That all have been solid leads that we're actively working on, right?
Yep.
Obviously, some of these leads are still kind of in the process. The deals are in the follow-up,
sure.
but we've locked up several deals. So, the very first lead that I locked up was a sub-2 deal that I ended up selling on a wrap. I got into the deal for about $12K with the money that I was given to the seller and what I had to pay in closing costs. And I found myself a wrap buyer that brought in $40,000 into the deal, and it's going to be cash flowing me about $600 a month, right? So this was a sub-2 deal locked up. This one particular seller, which it happened to be my first lead from the campaign that was set up, he actually referred me to his son, right? His son is in Florida. He has a condo. He's in the military. He needs to move. He has no equity. So his dad said, hey, before you try to talk to an agent, call Francisco. He helped me. I was very happy with the way he was able to help me because this gentleman had his property on the market for 6 months and it didn't sell, right? So the week that the listing expired, that's when he got a hold of me. I was able to find him a solution. He referred me to his son. We're actually potentially closing on that particular deal next week, which is another sub-2 deal of a very nice condo in Florida. And as a matter of fact, I got a text message. Well, my TC got a text message from this particular seller in Florida saying, it's like, hey, tell Francisco hello. I really appreciate how he's helping me out, right? So when you take care of people, it's like, now they see it as me helping them out, right? As opposed to them feeling like, man, I think this guy's just getting my property for like next to nothing, right? They don't have any angst. They're actually excited about it, right? So I've been able to pick up a few other sub-2 deals from this, right? So so my first deal was his dad. That second referral was his son. His son has now referred me to somebody else in the military that's got a house in Crestview, Florida, who also has no equity. She had the property listed on the market. It's not moving. She got a hold of me and said, hey, here's what I can do for you, right? So that deal hasn't been locked up yet. She's in the process of trying to terminate the listing agreement, but that would be another sub-2 deal that came as a result from the first deal, right? So the referrals are coming in, and that's like waiting, right? Like that one particular lead just got me 2 other deals, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, right now we've got another sub-2 deal that I locked up 2 weeks ago, a little closer to home here in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Same thing, the property was listed, wasn't moving. The seller got a hold of us through the ads, and very little equity. They need to move quickly, locked it up, and we now actually, as of yesterday, we've got a buyer buying it on a lease option.
Nice.
Right? So we're essentially on this particular deal, the lease option buyer is going to be coming in with the monies needed to get us into the deal. So we're essentially just going to start cash flowing from day one.
Dang, that's crazy. It's crazy that your first lead, you got under contract, and that
Yes.
you got 2 more deals out of that first one. So you made your ROI in the first one.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
as
crazy.
you might imagine, as soon as that happened, it's like, okay, this is not a no-brainer, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was like, I'm glad I took the step because, whoever ends up watching this video, Fidel and I actually went back and forth a couple of times before I actually signed on. Because I was, I'll be honest with you, I was a little skeptical, right? It's like, nah, who the hell's this guy? Like, another one of these things that were like, okay, I'll pay X amount of dollars and then I don't get anything back type of deal, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, so far it's probably been the best decision I've made since I've been in the game, because now I get to control the lead flow, right? Like it's not dictated by some marketing agency, whatever they feel like putting on the ads, right? Like now we get to see like, okay, what's working, what's not working. If that's working, let's tweak it a little bit more. Let's hone in on this. So that alone, I mean, it's worth its weight in gold, because it's it's already been proven, right out of the gate that the system works.
Exactly. Yeah, and you've also gotten like all these other deals from like regular cash deals, novations and stuff from the other deal flow.
Yeah.
And you're doing very well. So what would you say? How do you like our coaching, the support with the team, how we give you feedback and all that, the response time? Can you tell us about that? Your
Yeah,
experience with
no, I
that?
mean, I think it's amazing. There's so typically my days typically filled with things, right? And a lot of times whenever I get around to actually sending the team a message is like, not what people will consider normal business hours, right? But I still get a response. Like I'm not expecting it. I'm just sending it out so I don't forget it. But I'm getting a response like, hey, no problem. Let us look into that for you and let's see what we can do. I mean, everybody has been more than willing to say, hey, if you need to get on a call with me to kind of go over things, we can do it, no problem. We want to make sure you understand what's going on and what we're tweaking and what we are adjusting. Because at the end of the day, it's the systems that I get to keep, right? So if I know how to work the systems and be able to kind of do things on my own as time goes on, then it's just going to be better for my business overall.
Exactly. And are you still doing any other marketing channels, or is it mainly just Facebook?
Right now, to be completely honest, it's just all in on Facebook
Okay.
because it's been working great, right? We did try a few other little things that I wasn't too excited about, like spend a little bit of time on like postcards, mailers. I know there's people killing it with that I'm happy for them, but it wasn't working for me, right?
Yeah.
But because of the way the marketing with Facebook has been working, it's like the referrals, even from the first lead, and I'm still getting referrals, right? As soon as I'm able to help somebody that's in distress, then typically I try to ask them, so if there's anybody else that you can think of that I can help, please let me know. And these people are more than happy to just continue to put my name out there. That's as good as it gets, right? Like, because typically when you get a referral, it's like you're 80% of the way to getting the deal done because the trust is already there, right?
Yeah.
So, right now, I'm just focusing on this. In the future, I might look at something else, but this is working. It's working great, and I don't think I'm even scraping, the depth of what I could do with this thing once I kind of get the systems in place with the rest of my team to really be able to scale it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what works very well is like you already kind of have a brand in your market where it's like, hey, it's FJ Partners, like they help me out. And also, like, we create ads that hit on different pain points, right? We get the broad approach, like, hey, if you don't want to sell with an agent, we can give you a cash offer. We're FJ Partners, right? We make all this, we do all these deals, and we've helped like all these other sellers, right? But then
Yep.
we also hit different distressors, like and pain points that people who are motivated would want to hear about, right? And I feel like doing a mix of like everything, it's how it starts working. But you're some of the clients that came in and it's very like smooth sailing.
Yeah.
But some like we not that we struggle, but like it's a little bit harder to like get it up and going because we gotta test different stuff, see what's working best in that market, what angle, what sort of like ad copy, what do we say on the videos before it starts like spitting out like consistent results. So you're one of those that just came in and just started like getting all this deal. So that's great. And I think what would you say has helped you the most when it comes to kind of working with us?
I just the ability to be able to reach out to the team, right, through our chat. Like if there's a question or anything like that, like I can put it on there and I get a response quickly. I think this is true for any business, whether it's real estate or otherwise. That communication, right?
Yep.
Speed to communication. A lead comes in. If I can get back to them quickly, then the chances of me getting the deal are pretty good, right? Same thing on the communication as far as the support. So like if I can send a note like, hey, I just got something, a message from Facebook that says like this thing is not working or whatever, they're gonna stop the ads. Like somebody on the team's like, hey, don't worry, brother, let's take a look at it and let's get it fixed so we can continue getting those leads. That alone to me is what's amazing, because again, I've gone through other marketing agencies to where, like, even though I was paying them handsomely, right, I would have to wait 24 hours, 48 hours before somebody would get back to me with some sort of an answer. And sometimes it was just them letting me know that they were now going to look into it. So a few days had gone by. To me, in my mind, time is money, right? Everybody seems to understand that. And, the quicker we can get things resolved to where those ads continue to go out there and make things happen so the deal flow can continue, that to me has been the biggest thing in the one part of the whole coaching that I've enjoyed the most. It's just the speed of the communication and the ability to reach out to the team at any time.
Yep. Yeah. We try to get back to everyone pretty quick. So you're spending around $3,000 a month. Like, how many deals do you think you're getting on average on a monthly basis, and how much you're making on your $3,000 investment in marketing per month?
So what the deals that we locked up in the last 3 months, it's been locked up about 10, working a couple more now. So as far as what we're making right now in the last 3 months, you can say that we're averaging around 35 to 40,000 a month, right?
That's over a 10x.
Yeah. And again, we're just getting started. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Like just getting the systems to where they need to be. And I personally feel good that once kind of everything is where it needs to be, then just adding more fuel to the fire and say, hey, you know what? Instead of 3K, let's throw in 6K into the marketing and let's see what happens, right? Because now I feel confident that the ROI is going to be there, right? It's not like I'm not going to just wish and hope it's going to work. It's like it's proven. It's happening.
Yeah. We already know it works.
Yeah.
So what would you say are some of the skills that someone who's looking to get, help from us and for us to implement this marketing system, what are some traits that they need to have in order to become successful?
Well, in my mind, the first thing is taking action, right? It's like I've talked to people that want to get into the business and they want leads. And sometimes once they start getting the leads, either they don't follow through quickly. It's like one of the things that you told me right out of the gate is like, hey man, you're gonna be getting leads. You want to get on the phone with these people within 5 minutes, right? Like you or someone on your team needs to be on it, and that's true because a lot of times these guys I might not be the only company that they're calling, right? They might have filled out other forms. So the first person that is able to get to them and start working out a conversation to make a deal happen, that's key. So just taking action like that's the main thing. Is like I guess a lot of people sometimes just get caught up on all the bells and whistles. Like, well, I want to make sure that I understand this. I want to make sure I understand this. Like, man, if you get a lead, you got a phone number, you got a name, you got an address. Boom, you call and you try to make something happen.
Yeah, and I think that what I always tell all the clients, like the people that reach out, they want to sell, but the question is who are they gonna sell to? And the answer is they're gonna sell to whoever they trust the most. So we gotta become that like trusted advisor when it comes to talking to these people, because you gotta put yourself in their shoes and be like, oh, okay, I mean, how does this work, right? A lot of the times, selling their home is like the biggest decision that they're going to have because it's like their biggest like asset. So we gotta be able to be professional and be like cordial with them and actually find out what the bunnies are and what's making them want to sell and be able to solve those in order for you to make a deal happen. But yeah, communication is key and taking action is key because I feel like the people who succeed in anything is the ones who are not afraid to put in the work and put in the hours and like learn it and actually just keep on showing up. And for you, I think that's something that you do very, very well. But I guess like if you could describe our coaching in one sentence, how would you describe it?
In one sentence, okay, I think is the coaching with you guys is to the point, easy to understand, and you're able to learn and cut the learning curve to a fraction of the time by dealing and getting your coaching.
Exactly.
That alone is just cutting the learning curve into a fraction of the time, and the ease of the way the information is presented. As long as you have a brain, you can get it right if you truly
Yeah.
want to get it. So yeah, no, I think you number one, I thank you for not throwing me as as somebody like, hey, this guy's never gonna do it, right? Like you were kind of, hey man, just throwing it out there. You might want to check this out, right? Like, because like I said, at first I was a little skeptic. I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. But I was like, you know what? Hey, there's worse things that I've spent money on. Let me go ahead and just make an investment in myself again and see if I can get that ROI and then some. And it's happened.
For sure. What do you think is like the thing that you have struggled with the most, or what you thought was going to be very hard? Because I feel like a lot of agencies they give like wholesalers and investors kind of like the wrap around that. Oh, these guys are not smart and they can't figure this out. So I'm gonna tell them that it's so hard to figure this in order for them to just keep on paying me, so
Right.
that I can keep on having that monthly retainer
Yeah.
instead of them learning it. What would you say about that?
Yeah, so I'm with you. That's exactly how I felt, right? Like, because we used a couple of other agencies in the past, and when it was presented to us, they would show us like kind of the dashboard for one of their clients, and the first time around is like when I pulled up the dashboard, my eyes were doing this business, right? Like I didn't know where to even look at, right?
Yeah.
There's so much data, but once you kind of start, understanding the basic data that you need to be looking for, then the rest of the stuff you can kind of just put it to the side and focus on those points that you really need to be paying attention to. Uh,
Yeah.
and I agree 100%. The way they get presented sometimes it's like, here's what we're doing for a client, and you're looking at the dashboard, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much information. I don't even know what to make of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, but don't worry, we'll handle this for you. And obviously, that's what they sell, and more power to them because they've been doing very, very well selling that service. But once you kind of get into it a little more, and with you guys as coaching, it gets very, very simple to understand in the end.
Yeah, because how we try to do it is like, okay, we want to get you set up very fast. So speed to value is very important. That like once you kind of pay us, like we want to get you launched within the next 24 hours. And I don't think it should take longer than, 1 to 2 days. I know some people take like 7 to 14 days to get set up. And it's like, well, I already paid for this. And if you look at the real estate cycle, it takes a while before you start selling deals, right? So for us, it's very important. And the way that we do it is like, okay, we will set up your first campaigns with stuff that we have that we know it's working. But then we're going to give you some action items on videos that you can record that we know crush and do very well. If you have any like marketing material of properties before you flip them, that we can, make static ads. So we try to get you launched as quick as possible. And then on the back end, we give you coaching on like how we're doing it, so that way you also have the context of how everything works, so that when you look at metrics, you know what you're looking for. It's not just like numbers on a dashboard. It's like, okay, this is what my cost per lead is. This is my link click to result ratio. This is how good my ad is performing. This is the ad copy that, it's working. So we just try to make it very interactive and like done with you, so that you get the knowledge and the context of how everything works. But yeah, that's huge for us to be able to do that. Um, but I guess like overall, would you recommend this to someone else?
Oh,
How would you
absolutely.
recommend their program?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's if you're willing to invest in your business and you truly want to make money in the business, the name of the game are leads, right? You don't have any leads, you don't have consistent leads or quality leads, there's no business to be had, right? So I would highly recommend someone that is being kind of on the fence, whether I should do it or not. It's like, if you really want to get into it and you want to go all in and take action, go for it. I would say that if you're not willing to put in the time or take action, then don't waste your money. But if you are
Exactly.
willing to invest in yourself and in your business and go all in, trust me. I mean, I can testify that as long as you have the ability to take action right out of the gate and be willing to make that investment, you can make money hands down.
Yeah. And like one of the things that I see that happen very often is like, so sometimes people don't want to work with us, and like I get a feeling, I'm sorry, that they want to work with us, but sometimes they get a feeling like they're just gonna be blaming us for everything, and it's not
Right.
like the person that I want to attract.
Right.
Basically, it's like, okay, you got to be willing to put in the work, put in the effort, and all that, because how a lot of people make it seem with wholesaling or investing is like that is so easy, which is not. I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. So you got to
Right.
be a lot of things, right? And one of the most important thing is like showing up and putting in the work and having the action, because what you think is going to take is probably going to take more than what you thought. So as long as you have that mentality, I think you will succeed in anything. And I feel like in the end, there's like two type of people, right? It's the pessimist and there's the optimist, right? The optimist, when he sees something and he believes it and he gets that little feeling in his gut and be like, hey, I think I can make this happen, right?
Yeah.
Those sort of people are gonna make anything in their power to make it happen, right? Whereas in the pessimist, it's like, oh, I don't know, like they'll get, I mean, everyone gets doubt and fear and all that, but the pessimist is gonna act upon the fear and oh, well, what if I fail, right? But he's not gonna do anything with that. He's just gonna let that control him instead of going out there and be like, well, I'm gonna figure this out as
Yeah.
long as it takes, and I'm gonna put in the work in order to win and make it happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, it's you get what you put in, right? Um, so I heard someone say this in the past. I don't know who it was. Like whatever you whatever you pour yourself into will pour itself back to you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to get in there and get dirty and understand and start making things happen, then don't expect things to happen.
Yeah, you get in what you put out, and
Yeah.
kind of going back to Facebook is the reason why I like it is like we're always on the phone. We're always on the phone, and even the people that we're talking to, they are on the phone. So we just need to find a way of getting in contact with them. It's like, okay, where do they hang out? Most of them are going to be on Facebook and Instagram. So let's put out ads that talk to them and resemble what they're trying to look for, right? That way we do, it's kind of like you're cutting a tree from an apple. It's already there. It's like, oh, let me get
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So we just gotta find that approach. But can you, I guess, let us know? I mean, are you working on anything in particular? What are you looking forward to? You have any goals for the coming months? What do you have planned? Anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, my goal is to be able to get to $100,000 months consistently. That's the goal, right? Now I do understand that I need to make sure that I've got some systems in place on the back end, right? So that if I do add more to the ad spend, then those leads coming in, we're going to be able to monetize on them, right?
Yep.
So I'm working on the back end to make sure, like I was saying earlier, my acquisitions guy is going to be up and running and understands, how to speak to the sellers in a fashion to where they're gonna feel like they can trust us. Once I kind of get that in place, then my plan is definitely to start adding more to the monthly budget and then just scale. I don't think it's far fetched for anyone, even for myself, to get to $100,000 months consistently. Is possible, right? It's not
Yeah.
easy, right? It's not going to just be handed to me. It's like, hey, there's $100,000 every month, right? Like some things have got to happen, but that's my goal in the next 6 months to be able to get to $100,000 months consistently.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for that not to happen based on what's happening right now in the systems that I'm implementing to be able to scale. I also would like to expand from my local market, to maybe go potentially even nationwide, right? Start taking advantage of doing more novations nationwide to
Yep.
be able to just monetize on as many leads as possible. And right now I am in the process of locking up a couple more of those novation deals, just to continue to increase the deals with novations to be able to scale it outside of my market. And you know, ideally, what I would like to do is to be able to have not just one acquisitions guys, like I want to have a team of acquisitions people,
Yep.
that can handle the lead flow, right? So, but we start with one, get that guy where he needs to be, and then go out and look for another sniper that can
Yeah,
uh,
for
that can
sure.
get us where we need to be.
Yeah, I think it can be done 100%. You just need to have a reverse engineering system on how you're gonna get there. And
Yeah,
the way you get there is like, okay, you set the goal, what you want to hit, let's say $100,000 per month, and then you look at your past deals and be like, okay, what is my average profit per deal that I'm getting? Now you know that's your kind of your basis. So you know your every deal you're gonna try to make, call it 20 grand, right? 20 grand. And then we have the success rate, meaning, okay, if you look up 10 deals and three fall out, that means that you have a 70% success rate. That's what's going to happen. That's pretty much standard because you get title issues, extra repairs, the seller may change their mind, whatever. So now you know if you have those three things, and then you also know your lead to contract ratio, like, okay, how many leads do I need in order to get a deal from Facebook? Okay, the standard is like 15 to 25 leads to get a contract. But then if you also know what your average cost per lead is, it's very easy for you to kind of reverse engineer the math and be like, okay, if it takes me 25 leads and each lead is $40, on average it's going to cost me 1,200 to 1,300 to get a contract. And then if I want to get to 100K, that means that I need to look up like 130 because maybe 20 to 25% of those leads are going to fall out. And then you do the math between how much you're making per deal and then what's not going to close and what is going to close. And then you just multiply the amount of leads that you need on a monthly basis on your average cost per lead. And then that's how you get to your monthly budget of what you need, right? But I like
sure.
the way that you're doing it smart because like some of the deals are barely starting to close and that's just real estate. It takes a while before they actually close. And then you can get that capital and start deploying it, every month so that you start getting more volume and hit your goal, right? But on the back end, you got to have that plan and then you got to have the infrastructure and team in order to go out there and make it happen.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%.
Well, Mr. Francisco, this was great. Thank you so much for talking to us. Very proud of you and everything that you're doing and that you keep on just showing up and, getting all these deals. I know that we don't talk too often a lot of the times because you're just like busy just getting deals, but, I'm very proud of you of everything you've done and what you are accomplishing. And I've no doubt that we'll get there to the
Yeah.
100K per month mark. We just need to kind of set the plan
Let's do this. Once I start hitting $100,000 months, we need to do another one of these and record it.
yes. Oh
That
yeah.
way I can talk about what that process looked like.
Yeah.
And
The plan
obviously,
and all that.
yeah, with the Facebook marketing channel and um, everything that transpired to get me to that goal. That way, you can have somebody just shows like it's possible, right? Like
Yep.
within 6 months, and we have it on record. Within 6 months, my goal is to consistently hit 100K a month.
Yeah. And I think it can be done with just one marketing channel. I think making $1 million with one marketing channel is very doable. I don't think there's a need to have like all these different marketing channels if you are getting more than like a 6x return on your ad spend.
Right.
So, you know, let's just keep on focusing on Facebook, getting better, lowering that cost per lead down and, getting more deals.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you,
Cool.
brother.
Well, of course,
Appreciate
Mr.
you.
Thank you for your time. And like I said, we'll be in touch. Very proud of you. I hope you have a great week. And thank you for talking to us.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
All right.
Talk to you
You
soon.
too. Bye
Bye.
bye.